It's Ehizoje, everyone's favorite Nigerian.
This that real life shit, nigga.
So on January 7, 2025, multiple fires broke out in Los Angeles, with two of those fires being extremely more destructive than any fire in the history of Los Angeles by a wide margin. The Pacific Palisades fire, which has razed the Pacific Palisades almost in its entirety, along with several communities in Malibu to the ground, and the Eaton fire, which has decimated the community of Altadena. At the time of this recording, close to 40,000 acres have been burned, over 12,000 structures have been destroyed, an estimated 150,000 people have been displaced. There have been 16 casualties in counting. I don't really have words for how tragic of an event this is. It's affected the wealthy. It's affected those known as celebrity. It's affected family who's been in Los Angeles for generations. It's affected the middle class, upper and lower.
Yeah.
It's affected the young who are trying to make it in life. And it's affected the old who thought they did make it in life. It's affected those who are already houseless, as the already contaminated air of Los Angeles has been borderline unbreathable in certain areas. It's affected whites, browns, blacks, Asians. These fires burned without bias, leaving thousands of people with nothing. Thousands of people woke up on a regular Tuesday and went to work, school, brunch, because in LA you get brunch. And that was the last time they had a home. Thousands of people lost everything and have to rebuild from the ground up. Some people have taken this time to politicize this tragedy, as they do most things, with misinformation about budget cuts and water shortages, attempting to place blame on the left and DEI initiatives, when in actuality, that $17 million number that you guys see, that they state was removed or cut from the 2023 budget moving into 2024, was made up of one-time costs. Things that were purchased one time, they did not need to be repurchased. And that in actuality, in 2024, LAFD received $58 million more dollars in 2024 than they did in 2023. So instead of trying to be divisive, this is the time to show community. Volunteer, donate, pray. If you're not religious, share links to resources for those affected. Save the politicizing for after this ordeal is over. And help. And if you can't help, be kind. If you or someone you know has been affected by this fire, visit disasterassistance.gov. I'll put it in the description. Also, I have a link for free mental health services for those affected, and also a link of GoFundMes for Black families who've lost their homes due to these fires, in case you want to donate. And a link to the LA Fire Relief Fund that will be responding directly to those affected. You got anything to say, James?
No, you kind of covered most of it. Well said. My heart goes out to the 16 and counting people who've lost their lives due to these ongoing fires. It's terrible. I've never seen anything like this. I remember the night before, Monday night, I was just checking like the weather app. I saw something like life-threatening windstorm coming tomorrow. And I was like, life-threatening? How could a windstorm be life-threatening? Then I thought, oh, okay, like maybe it can start a fire or whatever. But I didn't think, and I fully expected like maybe some brush fires here and there.
Yeah, because we've seen it before.
Yeah,
we've seen brush fires, Malibu.
Yeah,
always gets like homes always burn down.
Yeah, and usually like they get pretty contained. But like I've never. They say the Palisades fire alone, not even the Eaton fire. The Palisades fire can go down as the costliest fire in U.S. history.
$150 billion.
Crazy. And currently, still counting.
Currently.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my mom kind of explained it and broke it down for me because I didn't even really peep or realize. Like, I guess every year we alternate, every wintertime we alternate between El Nino and La Nina. So like last wintertime was a relatively wet winter. Yeah. It was El Nino, and this year is La Nina, which is and this is one of the driest La Ninas we've had, combined with strong windstorms. I saw like an old Joe, I don't know if you saw it, but I saw like an old Joe Rogan podcast clip resurface of him talking to a LA firefighter.
If there's a fire, there's nothing you could do. Essentially,
I'm saying that pretty much LA's been at mercy of the wind. So like all we need is one strong windstorm
going down
during La Nina, and we're fucked, and that's what we're seeing right now. So thoughts and prayers. Donate. Get involved. If you're local out here, just do what you can to provide relief and support to those who are affected.
Yeah, it definitely felt like anything that could go wrong went wrong. Because even to contain the fire, right? Helicopters and things that would normally be used to like drop retardant,
right, or
just water to expunge the fire, weren't able to take air. You know, they were grounded almost immediately. I remember Tuesday I was chilling at work, and like I work in Santa Monica, and it was pretty windy Tuesday, extremely windy. Our building started like moving back and forth, and I remember people were talking about it. I was like, oh, that's something that's good. Like, you want tall buildings to, you know, shift, move. You don't want it to be like solid, because that's usually when things start to fall. And then they started talking about like the earthquake in Northridge. And they're all like, oh yeah, it was before your time, this and that. And I remember like vividly saying, yeah, thankfully I didn't have to live through that. And I knocked on wood.
Yeah. Oh, and, really?
Yeah.
That day, yeah.
And then 2 hours later, the general counsel at my job, she was in a meeting with all the managing partners, because beginning of the year, they're going over budgets for like the entire year. And she like burst back into like the main like office area. And she's just like, do you guys know what's going on in the Pacific Palisades? And we're like, no. And she's like, I gotta go pick up my son. Like, it's bad. Right?
Is her son up there in the Palisades area?
Her son goes to school at the Pacific Palisades High School.
Oh,
yeah.
Sheesh.
So we're like, nah, we didn't see anything, but you could see the Pacific Palisades from our office. So we go around the corner to the other side of the office, and then we see the fire, and then obviously we're still not thinking it's gonna be what it is. Like, the fire had just started. We're just like, oh shit, that's kind of crazy. And I did make a couple jokes about leaving early. I mean,
we didn't know how severe it was gonna get. Yeah,
I was just like, damn, I guess we need to evacuate. This and that.
Yeah.
And then 2 hours after that, it kept getting worse, and we did eventually have to evacuate. You know, and it did teach me one thing. Like, LA might be one of the worst cities to be in the state of a emergency.
Why you say that?
It's impossible to get out.
Because of the freeways and the way this shit is set up. Yeah.
Like, when we left, the reason we left wasn't even because of the fire at the time, because it was still like mainly Palisades. It was because Wilshire, I work off of Wilshire, was so backed up from
everybody evacuated
from Ocean Boulevard to where we're at. And we work like borderline Brentwood. That's a pretty long distance. For those of you who don't know LA, that's like 5-6 miles of just street, just backed up. So it took me, I live 10 minutes from my job. It took me like an hour 20 to get home. So
damn, bro, that makes me think too. Like, if we know we haven't gotten rain in a cool minute, and the meteorologist can predict when a windstorm is coming, shouldn't there be more preventative measures done? Like I know it might cost a lot and be a lot of work, but maybe like helicopters and planes like drop water on the fucking forest brush areas.
Yeah, to keep them wet.
And not even saying that it's going to prevent the fire from happening, but it can help prevent spread. Yeah, prevent spread and shit like that. I don't know. I'm not an expert on stuff like this, but if we know it's coming, like, what can we do in advance to? I don't know. Can we just wet up the fucking forest or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I also don't know what they did do preventative wise. Like, it's hard to believe that they were just doing nothing and just like sitting on their hands. Like, you would hope they didn't.
I don't know.
You know, it's not my area of expertise. So I'm really just sitting, and as information comes to us, you know, it comes to us. So
at this point, we got to figure out something now. Like whatever it is, like this could happen again.
Oh yeah, you can't let something like this happen twice.
Yeah,
especially with global warming, because this isn't like, it's been pretty dry over the past like 9-10 months. We're gonna have drier years. Like,
for sure,
it's gonna continue to be more and more dry. So
absolutely. Thoughts and prayers to everybody involved and affected.
Yes, sir.